Everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing real good, Ray. How you doing?
Good, good. I hear you got a little bit of news going on this week. Did you start your new job?
Yeah, started a new job. Started today, in fact.
Very nice.
Yep. Drove all the way up north last night, stayed overnight, worked all day, came right here.
Isn't that like a song?
I don't know, something like that.
All night.
Well, it is, but
Stayed all
hey,
day.
my future is so bright.
It is bright.
I got to wear shades.
That's why I'm wearing shades too.
And
you are aglow. You are just aglow, man. It's like,
and so is our guest.
yes, yes. And our guest today is a gentleman who says he's a little bit of a rock and roll with a southern soul.
Yes, sir. You got that correct.
It's Brad Redlich. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Great,
Oh,
great.
man,
Thanks
great.
for coming out.
Thanks for sending out the memo. We're all wearing shades.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for the first time.
That's right.
This might have to be a trend that we continue to
We
go
might.
with.
Yeah, we might. And we're also videotaping this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's our video guy?
We got Max Williams out here.
It's Max.
All right. Thanks for coming out here, Max, and showing us how to do this, because we've been trying to put together video for a long time.
For a while now, but Max is a pro.
Yeah.
And we're just...
and we're not.
We're not, no. So we'll figure it out somehow.
Yeah. It took us 2 weeks to figure out how to plug them in.
That's right. That's right. And then we still can't figure out how to upload it.
Nope, not at all.
So let's get on to Brad, not
Yeah.
about us.
Well, tell us about yourself, Brad. Tell us a little bit about this rock and roll with a touch of Southern soul. I'm interested.
Yeah. So I'm a local guy. I'm from Bolingbrook.
Nice.
So some people call me Brad from Bolingbrook. So if you'd like to go with that instead of Brad Redlich, that's fine for now. But yeah, I like Southern rock. I like classic rock. I like country music. I like alternative music. I like the blues. And I try and put it all together.
Excellent. What got you into all this stuff?
The guitar, man. The guitar is where it started. So I really started with just playing the electric guitar, just falling in love with the greats. Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know. And then eventually got to writing my own stuff and singing and playing in a band and all that kind of thing. And then, yeah, now we're doing it.
What was your first band?
Just some cover bands that I played in with some buddies from high school and college.
Okay.
So we would just play like Beatles and Stones songs, and then eventually got to writing my own original music.
Right. Excellent. So tell us a little bit about the migration there. Like, I guess, who was, most musicians have one person in their life that said, maybe you should think about doing this. Was it something that you discovered on your own, or did you have some kind of a mentor? Or tell us about that.
I never had anyone that said that to me.
Oh, no?
That's a good question, Mike.
Yeah. I was a late bloomer, man. I didn't touch instruments really until I was 20 years old. So I'm 29 now. I just always loved music, man. And one day in college, my roommate, who we didn't really always get along, but he's like, if you love music so much, why don't you go play it? And so he kind of said it to be kind of mean to me, but then I actually took him up on that. All right. I'm like, all right, maybe I will. So then I just organically found some buddies that also played, and we just started jamming in garages, basements. Very, very organic way of learning music was playing with other people, with friends, and just hanging out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's how it all began.
Did you have any kind of formal lessons prior to that when you were?
No. The only schooling I had with music was I played percussion in elementary and middle school, and I was always the worst guy. I got yelled at every day because I never wanted to go home and practice these rudiments and all this crap. I just liked music. I didn't really want to have this very strict, rigorous structure to it. So,
right.
But I think in the end, that actually really served me really well. Just playing on time is a really, really hard thing when you're first starting out, and I already had that just from getting yelled at.
Okay.
So did you, when you first picked up that guitar, did you already have aspirations of writing your own stuff, or you just wanted to play?
I always wanted to sing. That was my main thing. But I really wanted to understand music, just as a form to put lyrics and songs to it. So I didn't want to be just a singer. I just thought, to me, that's not being a full musician. You really need to understand, the chords and keys and how to, create tension in songs and release it and different things like that. So John Mayer was like one of my really big first influences. Just the way that he could play a song with an acoustic guitar and write it, and then bring a band in and just rip a solo. And Eric Clapton and all these guys, they were multi-dimensional. It wasn't just like, I'm just a guitar player or I'm just a singer. It was like they could do really a lot of different things. So I thought that was always cool.
Right, and many different styles too. That's the thing
Yes.
that's always impressed me about the guys that you've named is,
Yes.
one album might sound like a country album, one album might sound like a blues album, one might be a pop album. Certainly all of those guys fit that bill for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So from Bolingbrook, and you were in high school, were you a Raider?
No, I actually went to Naperville Central High School.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but there's this one neighborhood in Bolingbrook. It's off of Royce Road in 53. It's the only neighborhood that goes to Naperville schools. So I went to all Naperville schools, but I technically is from Bolingbrook.
Yeah, my wife went to Naperville Central.
Did she really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm probably about years older than you, so I'm not gonna reveal that, but it's been quite a while.
I'm not even going to go there with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you do anything? So in high school, were your attentions? Did they gravitate toward other things? Like, were you an athlete in high school, play some football or something like that?
Yeah, so I played soccer through the high school just until junior year, but I always loved athletics. Growing up, I played every sport. I always played basketball outside of school, just like with my friends and stuff, pickup games. So I was always working in a team, and that was why, like, even though I'm a solo artist, I really like being in a band because I love working in a team and working with other people, but I just really enjoy like writing my own stuff. So that's kind of why it's under my name. But when I play with a band out, we rip it. So
Yeah. I'm guessing sometime in your high school years is when you decided, hey, at least my voice sounds pretty decent to myself, and you started singing a little bit.
yeah, definitely. Definitely had some way of going through high school and singing and thinking that was something that I could do. Different styles though. I was very amateur at it, but there were some songs that I felt like I could sing. A lot of the early 2000s stuff was what I was into, like Third Eye Blind, Blink-182, Fall Out Boy, like stuff like that.
Right.
And then once I started playing guitar is when I really got into like the classics, which was a little bit later on.
Right. And I will tell you right off the bat, as soon as I heard the description of the music and the style and everything that you were playing, rock and roll with a touch of Southern soul. I actually like that. It rhymes.
Yeah.
It rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah.
And, the amazing thing is I've been trying to describe, my style myself, so I think I'm going to have to steal that.
Yeah, well.
because that's exactly it. It sounds a lot like the music that I play in my own band and everything. But
Nice.
where all of that stuff came from is I think we may have been separated at birth if I wasn't so many years older than you are, because that's the exact same story. In high school, I was an athlete and the whole bit, and I had friends that were like, you can't go out and sing. You can't go out and play an instrument. You got practice to go. We're going to play football, run track. We're going to do all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it wasn't until my early 20s that I decided I was going to pick up the guitar. It
That's
was
awesome.
the exact same story, in the same type of music, same influences in the whole bit.
Nice. Did you have a chip on your shoulder about it then too? You're like, I got to prove these guys.
No,
I can do it.
No, not at all. Because it was the exact same thing. I discovered at a pretty young age that I could carry a tone,
Yeah.
or I could carry a note with my voice. And truth be told, I did take formal music lessons when I was much younger, but it was crazy. My mother wanted me to play the organ.
Oh wow.
And so I took organ lessons for a couple of years, and it was actually my father. I was practicing the chords with my left hand, and I wanted to focus on that. So I started humming or singing the words to the song that I was supposed to be playing, so I could get the chord changes right. And it was my father that came out and said, you can sing.
Oh,
and I
nice.
think I was about, 11 or 12 years old or something like that at
Yeah.
that time. But I didn't do anything. I had met my wife by the time that I decided I was going to start playing guitar, so it's very similar.
Gotcha.
So who do you listen to? I mean, you're influenced by, Clapton and those guys that you just mentioned, but
Yeah.
like, who are you listening to right now?
That's a great question. There's a lot of country guys that are really doing the rock thing, the hard rock. They have a lot of hard rock influence. There's this guy named Hardy. He's got like metal breakdowns in his country music. Like it's heavy. And there's another guy, Co Wetzel, who's a country guy. He's from Texas. Not really in the Nashville scene as much as like that pop country stuff. It's more I think they call it red dirt country, where it's a little bit more southern rock influence than it is like the country style. So that's where I feel like I align. And a lot of people that hear me play acoustic, they'll think, oh, he's a country guy. But with the band, it's, you know, I'm actually playing the guitar and actually ripping solos and actually, you know, we play some heavy stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's almost kind of like the underground country scene in a way. You know, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've got, like you mentioned, there's that country pop sound going on right now.
Yeah.
And there's literally country music out there that has a dubstep beat. Yeah. Which just kind of makes me sick. I guess I can't get into it. I can't listen to it. And, you know, there's a lot of stations on satellite radio now. I'll be driving down the road and I'll hear a song by somebody that I've never even heard of before. And, man, it just rocks. It's like, is this country? Is this rock? You don't know what the heck it is. Yeah. These guys are fantastic. Yeah. And that's what I've been listening to. I think that's coming around because I think, you know, diehard country fans are kind of getting tired of the dubstep country out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it's, you know, to me, like, country music has become an industry rather than a genre. Like, there's a lot of guys like Willie Nelson's son. I don't know if you ever heard him.
Oh, yeah,
Lucas
absolutely.
Nelson. Like, he should be, you know, top of the country radio. Those songs that he's writing, his band that he's got, like, it's amazing stuff. But now he's in Americana. They're putting them all in Americana. But I'm like, this guy's countryer than the people I'm hearing on the country radio, you know? So it's come up with this like kind of negative connotation with musicians. So I try and not label myself as country, but I do like the storytelling that came with country music. Like the stories that they've told, there's a beginning, middle, and end when it comes to the lyrics of the song. And that's where the most of my country influence probably comes from, is that type of it. But that's also folk too, like the Bob Dylans of the world. Like those songs are, you know, they're telling literal stories, and I really connect with those types of songs. Right,
absolutely. You know, I became a fan of his because I went home one day and my wife and daughter were watching A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
And I was listening. I sat down and started hearing music in the movie and stuff, and I know this is not the music from the movie that I grew up with. You know, the version of that movie with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. That's actually not even the original. That's a remake of A Star Is Born.
Oh, really?
And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the stars of that first original movie. I want to say it was. Yeah, you've got the computer. Look it up. But
I'll look it up for you. You just keep talking.
Go ahead and look that up.
I'm not doing anything here. So.
Yeah. People don't realize that's actually the third version of that movie.
Okay.
And you can go back and watch the other two. But I said, this is not the music from the movie that I remember growing up. And I was like, who is this that did this? And found out that it was Lucas Nelson that did basically the score to that movie. It was.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He did a lot of music for that. And I started. Looking at all his videos and concert footage and everything, and said, man, this guy, you can't call him country, you can't call him folk, you can't call him rock and roll, you definitely can't call him pop. And what I love about him the most is his live sound is just so raw. Wow. I mean, when they're on stage in front of thousands, it sounds like five guys on a bus. You know, which is what sounds so awesome to me.
Yeah.
So who else? Anybody in particular? You listening to maybe to some older stuff that's influencing you right now, or is it all pretty much newer kind of stuff?
I've been going back through my Allman Brothers phase.
Yeah.
I'm relearning. So I play slide guitar a lot when I play with my band. I played it on my ring finger for so many years.
Right.
And now I've been starting to play it on my pinky finger.
Okay.
So I can also fret behind it and play chords, and then I can also slide, and do some lead stuff, whenever I feel. and it doesn't obstruct the playing. So I've been listening to a lot of Allman Brothers. There's this really, really good band that I saw a few weeks ago. They're called the Brothers Landreth. They got one of the best guitar players, I think, almost ever, that hasn't got to that point yet for people to talk about him. But like the way he plays slide on his pinky, and he plays an open tuning, and he plays chords, and dude, this guy he can write a great song, he can sing great, and then he can also play great guitar. Like those are my favorite types of artists to watch.
Right.
So
We're going to break in here with news from the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast newsroom. Yeah, we don't have one of those. The original Star is Born is from 1937.
Yes, it is.
And it starred Janet Gaynor and Friedrich March.
Wow.
So that's how far back it goes.
Yeah, I knew it went back quite a ways.
Yeah.
wow.
Now, I've never seen that version of it, so I'm gonna have to
To
take
watch
a look
it.
at it. Yeah, I bet you it's-
I've seen the last two.
I'm guessing it's about jazz musicians or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I didn't get that far into it.
But getting back to the slide thing, though, slide is something that I've never been good at. I just don't have. I've got a really heavy left hand, but I've been starting to play a little bit more. And what I have found actually to be most comfortable for me is I put my slide on my index finger, and I use my index finger like I'm barring across the frets, and I use these three fingers to do all my fretting and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
When people see that, they're like, "What are you doing?" I say, "Hey,
It works.
It's working. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. If some guys can play slide with a beer bottle, I can put a slide on my index finger. Shut up." So, what's the name of your band when you're performing with those guys?
So it's all under my name.
Okay.
So it's all under BradRedlich, just as an artist, kind of like John Mayer, Eric Clapton, whatever. Typically when I play with a band, I have hired guns that come out and play with me. I have my main guys that I recorded my new album that's coming out this Friday. They recorded with me, and whenever they're available, they'll come out and play. But everybody's so busy. But I write all the parts out, and I record a demo, and then I'll usually send it to my guys or have it recorded that way. Like my first 10 releases are all me playing instruments and recording in my basement.
Nice.
So-
Always the same guys, or is it a collective group of guys?
I have like rosters for bass players and drummers that I go through. So it's changed over the years, but yeah, we usually play just a power trio, and then yeah,
All guys from around here?
pretty much. Yeah, my main drummer's in Morris. His name's Torian Johnson, and then my main bass player, Luke Pope, he is in Shorewood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I would love to hear one of your songs.
I would like to hear it too.
We've gotten to that point where,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're talking about it. We want to hear it now.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
jam.
All right, you want me to play it, or you want to play one of the recordings?
No.
Oh, no, we want you to play
it.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Sounds good.
We can always splice in a recording.
All right.
right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we didn't have to pay a cover charge to watch him play.
That's
so.
right. That's right. So here's BradRedlich, everybody.
All right, I'll start with probably my most known song. This song is called Modern Classic. This is what we usually close the sets out with. Spoiler alert. But this song is called Modern Classic. It's basically about kind of my vibe, which is I like modern types of sounds, but I also really want to make sure that I'm adhering to them with the classics that I grew up on and that I learned with. So. And it's about my favorite type of girl, too, who also shares those values. She moved from LA to Boston, didn't care how they were talking. Gets right to the point, no game, no feint. She don't care who the boss is. You know when she gets to walking, denim jacket's gonna make you falling. All torn up on the shoulder, on for 10 years or more, but style won't grow older. Oh, you know she's a good girl acting. Thought she was a shooting star. She's a modern classic, gotta have it. Feel like I'm in love the first time, it's tragic. I imagine keeping that all locked up all night. Feel like I just sold my soul to the devil in the dark, which is like that. It's tragic, I imagine she's a modern classic. We could drive with one headlight, 2 tickets to paradise. Keep going while we rock and roll all night. It's a kissing party for a play long time. We could journey any way you want it, see all the lights and ride through the city. For a minute, I hold on loosely, get caught up in you and I lose it. Oh, you know she's a good girl acting. Thought she was a shooting star. She's a modern classic, gotta have it. Feel like I'm in love the first time, it's tragic. I imagine keeping that all locked up all night. Feel like I just sold my soul to the devil in the dark, which is like that. It's tragic. I imagine she's a modern classic. She's a modern classic, gotta have it. Feel like I'm in love the first time, it's tragic. I imagine keeping that all locked up all night. Feel like I just sold my soul to the devil in the dark, which is like that. It's tragic. I imagine she's a modern classic. She's a modern classic. She's a modern classic. She's a modern and classic.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I'm not even going to put the canned-in applause on that one because that's fantastic.
Real applause.
Man, yeah, absolutely. Anybody ever tell you that you remind them of Tyler Childers?
No, I haven't got that one yet. No.
Wow, man, that was very good.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So when you're out playing with the band or yourself, are you doing all originals or do you mix in any covers?
Well, sometimes we'll do a show where it's like a 3-hour long set. Sometimes I play 4 hours too, so we got to throw in covers. But the main focus is always the original music. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not trying to be a cover artist, not trying to be a cover band. So the covers are secondary. That's usually what we use to fill in. But if for a normal show, like 45 minutes to an hour or whatever, all originals. Maybe one cover.
So where are you playing where they're just having you come down for 45 minutes to an hour?
Well, this Thursday I'm playing at Navy Pier in downtown Chicago.
Okay.
So that's an hour-long set from 5 to 6 p.m. So I'm gonna do that's a solo acoustic. So I'm gonna do that. And then there's been a lot of places that I've played, like Ballydoyle.
Oh yeah.
Played at Quigley's in downtown Naperville.
Yep.
Played at trying to remember. I play pretty much every weekend, so there's always different styles of gigs. Sometimes we have a bunch of bands that we put together on a bill.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that'll do like an hour long set or whatever. But
Yeah. I was going to say most of the time, if you're going to do all original music, you're looking for some kind of venue that's going to have 2, 3, or 4 acts that are going to come in. You play for about an hour a piece.
yeah.
Or so. Yeah. I mean, when you get your band together and do people want you for a full night? I mean, I guess the better question is how much of a pain in the ass is it to find a full night gig when you walk in and tell people we're an original band?
You know, I have a pretty good fan base. We go by BR Nation.
Okay.
So it's kind of a double thing. It's like BR Nation, like join us, but then my initials are BR. So we usually roll pretty deep when we go out to shows, and a lot of the comments that we get are like, why'd you play all those covers? It's like, well, it's a 3-hour set. They're like, well, we love your original songs. It's like, yeah, well, I would love to just play originals, but 3 hours of originals is not usually what happens at a show.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Even back in the day, you listen to like different guys, their live records. They'll throw in covers. They'll throw like Tom Petty, like he's got a whole live record, and he does a lot of covers, but he does it his style, which I think is important, you know.
Yeah, so. When you've been playing the same songs over and over again, even your own songs make you sick.
Yeah, they can.
You know?
Yeah.
So you got to throw in something else. I'm going to do a cover song because I like this song, and I'm tired of doing this one that I wrote.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right.
So have you got something released now? I know you got something coming up.
Yeah, so I have about 15 to 20 songs on Spotify already.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a debut EP, it's a 5-song EP that's coming out on Friday. It's called Shy Rock. So basically wanted to mix a whole bunch of different influences into what I think it represents Chicago rock fans in my record. So that's what I did.
So what do you, I guess, what's the one thing about being a musician or trying to make it as a successful musician? What's the one thing you hate and you just wish you didn't have to deal with?
You know, I've learned to love a lot of the hard parts of it.
You know,
to be honest.
That's a great answer. I mean, yeah, you have to embrace the suck.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You do.
That's true. That's true.
And I think from just growing up in very like I went to college. You know, I have a regular 9-to-5 job. I played team sports all through my life. I was always a hard worker. So to me, like the promotion and, you know, booking gigs, you know, calling up promoters, getting a band together, making sure everyone's schedule's working out well, making sure the guys can play the songs, you know, rehearsing. To me, that stuff is just a part of it. It's not really extra to me. It's like I know that I signed up for this, and if I want to be the best, these are the things you have to do.
Right.
So just that hardworking mentality, which I think a lot of Chicago people have, especially through these cold ass winters that we have. Like you have to be hard headed and you have to have thick skin to grow up in the Midwest. And I think that's where a lot of my soul and my passion for music comes from is growing up here. You know, I think if I grew up in California with sunny days every day, my music would just be a little bit more fluffy. It wouldn't be as like, you know, I wouldn't have so much drive and passion and grit, you know, in the music. So
right. Yeah,
like you said, Tyler Childers.
Yeah.
He grew up in, I think, was the Appalachian Mountains or something like that.
Something like that. Yep.
And you know, he's a product of his environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And we all are, you know, all artists, no matter what your medium is. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to have that drive for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be willing to unload a trailer when it's 20 below.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've all done that. We've all done that enough. Wow.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this EP that's coming out, is it just going to be on, you know, digital, Spotify and stuff, or you got a physical CD or record or?
Yeah, so I'm working on getting some CDs printed right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably do it at my house. All my merch, I have T-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, baseball jerseys, koozies. I make all that at my house, all the merch. So I'm kind of a DIY type of guy. So. Yeah. And I didn't mean to rhyme that, but that's pretty cool. I put that on the card too, DIY type of guy.
Well, rock and roll with some Southern soul. He rhymes all the time.
That's right. So people can get this off your website.
Yeah. And then we shot a really, really cool music video from one of the songs that'll come out with it, and then we got 2 in studio music videos that have already released with 2 of the singles from the record. So
awesome.
There's a lot of cool promo stuff that we did for this one that I haven't really been doing in the past. So just trying to keep leveling up, you know, every year. Just do something a little bit fancier.
Right. you said something that reminded me of what I was going to talk about.
You're welcome.
1989 to about 1999, when I first started playing in bands and the whole bit, it literally was, all right, we have to record a demo, put it onto a CD, right? We need to get some photos and some pictures taken. Let's go and do that, right? Now we need a bio. Let's print up a bio. We have to have a bio about everybody in the band, right? And then you go down and you go to Office Max and you buy some kind of fancy plastic sleeve and you shove all that stuff in there and you pay somebody to duplicate this CD, right? And what did you do? We literally walked around door to door, walking into bars, handed them these promo packs. 2 weeks before the show, we were sticking flyers under the windshields of cars, sticking them up on posts, going into the bathrooms and sticking them on the mirrors, going to the local guitar center. We were doing all that stuff. Now we've got somebody here that is of a younger generation of musicians who also happens to be an IT professional. How the heck are you doing that? You've got to have it down to a science. So, I mean, there's no promo pack that you're handing anybody anymore, right? It's got to be all digital.
Yeah, there's definitely, for me, it's a happy medium. While I do work in IT for work, and that's like my main source of income, I'm really an analog guy, man. Like, I love guitars plugged into amps. I don't like guitars plugged into computers.
God bless you. Yeah, God bless you.
I like writing songs with my acoustic guitar, not having a beat on my computer and then writing lyrics on top of that. I don't do stuff. I do stuff how they used to as much as I possibly can, and then once I realize, okay, well, maybe I need to go to the modern type of things, then I'll run some ads on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Like I'll post on all those websites all the time. I'm on Bands in Town, always posting about my dates and everything. Just social media, you have to use it. There's a lot of my friends that are not trying to use it. They want to do it like the old days, but you're not going to get big like your idols did these days. You have to adapt, unfortunately. I wish it was simple like it was back then, where you could just do, and make face-to-face conversations with people, tell people to come out to a show, all that kind of thing. But I do that. We have some footage from one of the last shows that we did where I went into a bar and I went and talked to people, and then we went to the next bar and we said, come on down to the show. We start at 7, handing out cards and everything. But really, you gotta utilize that, be personable, and then you gotta utilize somehow getting your name out there online too. So
right. And I'm even finding that band websites are not as productive, I guess, as social media.
That's because they're banned.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like musical bands.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry to interrupt.
This segment of the show brought to you by Dad Jokes Unanimous. Yeah. No. Jeez, that was terrible.
I liked it.
Thank you very little.
I liked it.
But and everybody calls a bunch of younger people. They call Facebook like your dad's social media or whatever. But I'll tell you what. I play in a band where we play 2 to 3 times a week, and the most beneficial social media site for us has been Facebook, because there are still people that will like the band on Facebook and they get the invites to all the shows.
Yeah.
It works fantastic. You have to figure out how to maneuver around that and make it work for you. So
what I've been focusing on lately is not just putting up dates and putting up, when I'm playing or where I'm playing or when stuff releasing, but trying to really put my personality into social media so people can get to know me as a person.
Right.
So that's like the next step that we've been trying to do. Me and Max here with doing the video, just trying to get stuff out there where it shows me talking to people, interacting with people, just seeing if you come out to a show, I want to be your friend too. We're trying to create, the BR Nation crew we're trying to create people that it's a community. We want people that are there not just for the music, but there for each other and to have a good time. And it's, that, I think that's really important. I think at the bottom line, music brings people together, brings like-minded people together. That's why you go to a concert, to experience that with people.
Right.
And I'm trying to show people that don't know, that haven't been to a show before, that's how it is. It's a great time. We always have a great time. We're always there to lift each other up. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
now the big question from me.
Uh-oh.
So when are you leaving for Nashville?
I've been there a few times, man. I've been there a few times.
He hasn't.
You haven't?
That
Yeah.
comes up every time we talk
never
about that.
been to
He's
Nashville.
never been to
Really?
Nashville.
No, I got to get down there.
Hey, it's not that far, man.
No.
You can make a weekend trip out of it. Just get an Airbnb. You could drive or fly.
That's true.
If you fly, it'll be an hour-long flight, and you'll be
Yeah.
right there, and you won't be beat by the time you get there. So
And cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Southwest, you can't beat the airfare. You got to go. You really do.
Anybody from Southwest listening to this podcast, we are looking for
sponsors.
So getting back to your aspirations on going to Nashville.
yeah, man. Well, I got these cowboy boots I'm wearing. I got from Nashville. They're snakeskin. I really love the atmosphere there. It's not just a country music area.
No.
It's all music.
Right.
And if you've been there, you know that there's a bunch of different bars that are not just playing country music. But yeah, it's just a great hub for if you want to be in that really competitive space and you want to be with really talented people. That's where you need to go. I'm in a scene here where I think there is a lot of talented people. I think we're really lucky actually in this Chicago area with a lot of local original music. So I've actually been okay with being here.
Right.
And yeah, I think, like I said, like my record that's coming out, it's called Shy Rock. It's for Chicago people, and I think people here are really going to connect to it.
Right.
So I wanna. People think, oh, I just need to go to Nashville and then everything will be perfect. It's like if you can't connect with the people that you're around, that you grew up with, then that I think that's where you need to start. I think Nashville's step 2. I think step 1 is connect with your community.
Right.
But there's a million different ways to do it. So this is just the path that I'm choosing, and
Nothing wrong with that.
it can always change.
No, that's right.
I agree with you 100%. Almost every podcast we have, we talk about how being a musician in the Chicagoland area is a gift.
It is.
Really is. And, in fact, we just had a gentleman right now, unfortunately.
Okay.
But the past couple of weeks, he's been coming out to an open jam that I host on Sunday. And
Which one is that?
He was just visiting. It's at a place called The Studio in Lockport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know it.
So yeah, I host there
come out to
every Sunday at 8:00. And this guy, he's been in town from Nashville for the past couple of weeks, and he was just like, man, this has just been fantastic to be hanging out here with you guys and just jamming with local guys, because he's originally from here and knows a lot of people, and he just loves coming back and hanging out. It really is a great place, really is. And plus I think Nashville can destroy as many aspirations as it can make them, because if you're not at that level, and you think you're at that level, and all of your friends are at that, are telling you that you're at that level, then you go to Nashville and you find out, I'm not even close, and you come back home and you just burn all your shit, and that's the end of your.
You're crushed. You're crushed.
It really does. It can hurt a lot of people if you go too soon or feel that you have to go just for the sake of going to Nashville. Not to badmouth Nashville or anything.
No. You got to have you got to be mature about it. You got to know what you're getting into. It's not just going to Nashville and I'm going to be a star. Come on,
Right. Yeah.
You got to realize, no, you're not. If you do, you're lucky.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of great places you can go and hang out, and maybe you can rub shoulders with the right people. And I think that's the most important thing about it, is finding people that are like-minded, that are maybe ahead of you, and being like, all right, they're doing it. They're doing what I want to do. So now I got to kind of try and follow their footsteps and take their example for it.
Right.
But I think also, not to get too much into the music industry talk, but it's the record label thing is kind of becoming a little less important than it used to be, just with all the resources that we have with online and with being able to build your own brand the way you want to, and get streams from people that you've never met in person or played for in person.
Right.
They don't have to go out and buy your record or know who you are. Like if your song comes up on a playlist or an algorithm,
right.
Then that's almost becoming a little bit more important to have that fan base already built before you go down to Nashville. So that's you know, there's a lot of different schools of thought when it comes to that kind of thing, but that's what I've been kind of seeing is the recipe for success is a good mix of online presence, but then being able to back it up at a show. Like if you can't actually back it up at a show, like you're gonna get ripped. I've seen that happen too.
Right. Well, before we run out of time, I'm enjoying the discussion. Actually, it's been excellent so far. But I'd love to hear whatever else you have prepared for us.
I'll play you guys one of my little countryer tracks. This song is coming out Friday. This song is called Drive, and it's got a music video paired with it. And yeah, this song is just kind of about, like we're talking about, getting out of town, you know, testing the waters, maybe in Nashville or somewhere else. And sometimes that's what you got to do. So. I've been lost in a breakup, I've been dust on a shelf, and I've been waiting to make up by myself. How could so many ladies leave me out in the cold without a coat or a campfire burning on, nothing to keep me warm? And yeah, you wanna drive right out of this town, see a dirt road, it's a long way out. You wanna fly back to Tennessee, ain't nothing that mean more to me than your face in the dark on the ride home. You're saying I love you with the lights on, can't feel your heart when I'm on the road and you're gone. And yeah, you wanna drive, yeah, you wanna drive, yeah. I don't need your conviction, always much overdue. And after all this addiction gets to you, nothing to see this through. And yeah, you wanna drive right out of this town, see a dirt road, it's a long way out. You wanna fly back to Tennessee, ain't nothing that mean more to me than your face in the dark on the ride home. Saying I love you with the lights on, can't feel your heart when I'm on the road and you're gone. And yeah, you wanna drive, and yeah, you wanna drive, yeah. And since I laced up my old shoes and crawled back to the house that we grew up and ran every mile without your smile. And yeah, you wanna drive right out of this town, see a dirt road, it's a long way out. You wanna fly back to Tennessee, ain't nothing that mean more to me than your face in the dark on the ride home. Saying I love you with the lights on, can't feel your heart when I'm on the road and you're gone. And yeah, you wanna drive, and yeah, you wanna drive, yeah. And yeah, you wanna drive. Thank you guys.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you guys so
And
much.
that's coming out this Friday, June 9th. So by the time you hear this podcast, it's already out, so go look for it.
That's right. So what do you have coming up within the next month or so?
Yeah, let me actually pull up my list because I booked so many shows that I just kind of forget about all of them. But yeah, this Thursday I'm playing at Navy Pier, downtown Chicago. Saturday is my album release show at O'Neill's Pub in Lombard.
Oh yeah,
that's actually my that's my home base. So I play there every few months, and we always get a huge crowd. Right out of lockdown, that was the first place that booked me, and I was playing solo acoustic gigs there mostly, but then they started letting full bands come in, and we just pack the place like so much. So they've been really, really good to me, so I want to give them a shout out. They're a great place for local artists. I'm playing at Go Brewing in Naperville the following Friday. Playing downtown Chicago at McGee's. I'm playing at Jamie's Outpost in Utica, and then Ballydoyle Smoke Show Barbecue in Naperville, and then ending the summer at Tailgaters in Bolingbrook.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm doing a festival in Lyons Township called Lyons Palooza on September 3rd.
Excellent. So
Man, you are booking some stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
a great job. Great job.
The Tailgater show, is that by yourself, or you got other bands joining you for that?
Yeah, so I'm doing a show with another local guy. His name is Larry Anthony. So we're doing a co-show together.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be playing an hour and a half, and then his band will play an hour and a half after. So
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So all kinds of opportunities to go out and see BradRedlich.
That's right. And once more, where can people find you social media-wise?
yeah, just search BradRedlich, REDLICH, wherever, and YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere.
All righty, Brad. Well,
Excellent.
thanks for coming out.
All right.
Pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Great talking to you guys.
Some great stuff you got there.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.